Here we are back again, guys. South Africa, we have... I'm going to start that. I didn't like that intro, to be honest, but I think I could have done a better job. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Chester Missing, where you can watch latex on the internet talking cuck. Guys, we have 46.1% unemployment in the youth of our South Africans. That is... I don't like how I said that. I'm doing it again.
Do it better.
Wow, there we go. Thank you. The guests are giving you shit, Conrad Koch. South Africans, we have 46.1% youth unemployment. Our unemployment could beat the ANC in the elections. It's insane. Our unemployment is the single biggest threat to our national stability, and it's destroying the future of millions. And who's actually fixing it? Nobody. Unemployment is the iceberg, and we're on the frickin' Titanic. And instead of freaking the fuck out, we're talking about a fake white genocide. We're talking about, whether Helen Zille's going to be the mayor of Joburg. 9 million unemployed youth people. If Helen Zille can fix youth unemployment, she can frickin' have Joburg. I don't mean be the mayor. She can actually have it. I think Ramaphosa should wake up every morning and WhatsApp all his cabinet ministers. If you don't find a way to give a young person a job today, namhlanje, you are fired. Futsek. Now, today I'm excited because we have people actually doing something to fix this. They're amazing. They're from a thing called Youth Capital. I don't know what Youth Capital is really. Is it a movement? Is it a brand name? Is it a t-shirt? But what they are doing is fixing unemployment, and they're here today. It's Siba Nobandla and Clotilde Angelucci, who's got a hectic Italian surname. How are you guys?
Awesome. Yourself?
Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you.
Nice. Siba, do you always go somewhere with an Italian?
Of course. She's like my right-hand woman right here.
Your right-hand woman?
Yes.
I've got a right-hand man with his hand in the wrong place, so I'm glad.
No, her hand's not in the wrong place.
That's good. Yeah, thank God, because that would be a whole different type of TV show. Listen, it's great that you guys are here. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I like the shiny things on your collar. You look like you could stab someone with your collar, and you're ready for action.
I am ready for action.
Listen, man, guys, 46.1% youth unemployment. What the fuck's going on? This is insane. Is this normal?
Can I stop you there? Just because the number, that's the official, if you look at the official definition of unemployment. But if you look at the expanded definition of unemployment, that includes young people who are given up looking for work because they're discouraged. They ready to work, but they're discouraged. They've been trying and they've given up hope. Then the number is higher. So it's
What's the number then?
It's 56%.
Oh my God.
Over 1 in 2 young people.
Oh my God.
Which makes it like over 12 million young South Africans in the labor market that are unemployed. And when it comes to young people that are not in education, employment and
yes.
training, then it's around 9.4 million. And I just want to say that this number has actually been increasing in the last 10 years. So it's not new news.
No, it's old news. That's what's insane.
Yeah,
we
but
sit
it's just
here
getting bigger
arguing
and
over
bigger.
stupid cuck, and meanwhile, our youth are completely being betrayed by the leadership of this country, and by us, I guess.
Yeah, true. So we sit here all the time. Like last year we had the elections and there were so many jobs promises made by all these political parties. But then a year over, we're in this mess again. And we just saw in the last quarter that unemployment has again increased. And so these jobs promises, I mean, we had a job in every home. We had the ANC promising over 2.5 million jobs, the DA over 2 million jobs, and they're in the government of national unity, wink, wink, today. But then we're still seeing the unemployment rate increasing.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Ramaphosa literally just fired a minister, so technically it went up.
By one, another one.
Another one. And it was a young minister as well. That's insane. Why do we lie about it? Why don't they just be honest that, it's young people who've given up looking for jobs are also unemployed? Why aren't they just left on the list? That just seems like some scumbags trying to cheat the system.
Yeah, because according to the National Development Plan, South Africa tracks the official unemployment, which looks at, so it does not include the discouraged. But every time, SATSA reports on unemployment, reports on both figures. I think as a campaign, we like to include the official figure because it's closer to reality. Also because some of the work that we've done has really highlighted some of the barriers. So young people are discouraged not because they're not resilient or not because they don't have aspirations.
Or they're lazy.
Yeah, but looking for work, for example, costs money.
So are young people lazy, or are we just assholes for how we treat them?
Well, I'm not sure if we can call you assholes, really, but...
I think we can, Steve. I don't think messing around here is not going to help anyone. We're assholes, and we need to face that.
I mean, sure, but I mean, yes, when you look at young people all around us, I mean, I'm a young person myself, and I know a lot of young people that are working, that are hustlers, that are starting new things, initiatives, etc., but they often come across the same problems, which is like access to opportunities. Young people are potentially are always applying. We often hear that, like, they hear from their grandparents, they hear from their community, etc. Are you applying for jobs? Are you? But they are. We often hear as well, like, the problems that they face when they are applying for these entry-level opportunities, that the requirements are absurd. I mean, you just left school. Where are you supposed to get experience from? But also the access to jobs. You often don't talk about rural communities, townships, etc., that are very far from economic opportunities where the actual jobs are. And so when you see, again, like, these jobs that are being offered, then the few of them are in metros, and so a vast majority of South Africans, young people, are excluded from this simply because I was born here, or this is the community that you're in at this moment. So often, like, we say young people are, like, people like to say young people are lazy, but that is not the case at all.
They're not lazy. They're not lazy.
No.
Have you tried TikTok? That cuck takes work.
Yes, it does.
Amandla, listen, on a scale of 1 to Gupta, how big a threat is youth unemployment to South Africans?
I'll say beyond Gupta, honestly, because...
More than Gupta. Gupta squared.
Gupta,
A Gupta and a Ruperton and Elon Musk.
And it's not a threat. It's not a threat. It's like it might happen tomorrow. It's like something that is a problem, tomorrow's problem. It's currently happening at the moment.
It's now.
So I wouldn't call it a threat. I would call it something that's currently happening at the moment.
And also, we know that unemployment drives poverty and inequality. And we know that this is our triple challenge. So like South Africa is one of the most unequal countries in the world. But I think it starts with unpacking what unemployment is, because if we think of unemployment as being employed, then you think, okay, a solution is just creating more jobs.
Yes, isn't that the answer? I would have, if you asked me to answer that question, that's where I admit I'm a ball of foam. I literally am an oven glove. So this is the weirdest interview either of you have ever done. You could buy me at House and Home, but surely it's obvious that unemployment is a lack of jobs. I don't understand what your Italian mind is telling me.
So my mind is saying this, is that if you look at the numbers, and if you look, for example, at the latest quarter labor force survey, 80% of the jobs that were lost were jobs that young people were fulfilling. So we're not creating it. Apparently, like, I actually read the other day that only 10% of people that are looking for work in the economy are absorbed. So we've got an absorption problem.
10% of the people who are looking for a job are absorbed.
Yeah. Which
I
means
wouldn't
we
have used the
actually
word absorbed. It makes it sound like we're a liquid or some type of body fluid.
absorbed because
Who's your daddy? I was absorbed.
Yeah,
oh, you
yeah.
absorbed me harder, Fikile. But that is a
true.
weird... So only 10% of the people who are looking for jobs actually ever find a job.
Yeah, because when you look at the labor dynamics, I know now it sounds weird, but you're looking at labor participation, so people that are participating in the economy, and then absorption that are absorbed by the formal economy. But clearly it means that we're actually not creating the right jobs, and we've seen that even with when the economy grows, young people are not automatically absorbed. I'm never going to say
I
this
really
word.
need you to stop saying the word absorbed. I feel like I need Kleenex. I feel like I'm hanging around in
You're right.
a teenager's bathroom.
Oh my God. Wow.
I'm so absorbed.
So what happens is
Hang on, my hand. Oh, Siba, can you help me out, please?
Where?
I have a problem. My hand's broke and they keep falling. Can you lift my hands up, please?
I'm
Lift
going
my
to lift your hand up and I'm going to lift the cards up.
Just don't absorb it. And then the other hand, please get the other hand if you can. Reach around.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. This
smells like he's employed.
We are not absorbing each other.
No, not absorbing each other at all.
no labor market dynamics here.
No labor market dynamics happen there.
No.
So why aren't we creating jobs that the youth can actually get?
So the one thing is that if you look at economic growth, the economy hasn't really grown.
No, it hasn't grown at all. It's shrunk.
Yeah, so, and
Despite all
if
the
you
absorbing.
listen to any politicians, they will always say, oh yeah, we need inclusive growth, we need economic transformation. But then if you look at how the budget is being spent, it's actually economic growth or economic transformation is not really prioritized.
But
so
they
that's
say
the number
economic
one.
transformation all the time.
Yeah,
but
they
actually
do
there's
say
none.
it. Yeah, but I think we need, and I think, there is a dimension of whoever lives in South Africa, when we look at unemployment, we feel like it's such a daunting issue because it is. It's like what researchers call like a wicked issue because it's resistant to simple challenges, to simple solutions.
Yeah.
But there are things that we can do as people living in the country because I think we started realizing a couple of years ago that every time we listen to the SONA, to the State of the Nation Address, President Ramaphosa kept on overstating the challenges of young people. But then if you listen to the Minister of Finance, then even in this latest budget, unemployment is not really prioritized. He doesn't even mention unemployment.
Unbelievable.
So there's actually,
Unbelievable.
there is a difference between the narrative we sold about, the priorities and then what is actually being prioritized.
Where the money actually goes and whether or not those things are actually implemented as well.
See, but where does the money go? Because I think it might be going to Ramaphosa's couch.
Yes, the money goes everywhere else other than unemployment. We see from again the budget speech that, as Claire mentioned, that there's no mention of youth unemployment. Part of our work as well last year is that there are things like, for example, the Basic Education Employment Initiative, which are things that the government is supposed to put into place. In order to get young people employed without a matric in our schools, working as teachers' assistants.
Okay, so hang on, you're going...
Too
What
fast.
is the basic... No, I love you. You're doing a brilliant job. It's just I have a very small brain. He's back over there with his hand in my boo-boo. I feel like I'm being absorbed right now.
Oh my God.
Listen, see, but what I'm trying to ask you is what is the Basic Education Employment Initiative?
So basically the
What actually happens?
Yes, so basically the Basic Education Employment Initiative. I don't know if you guys remember COVID times.
No, what's that? Never heard of it. No idea. I'm a latex puppet. I'm basically a PPE.
No mask
Oh my
for
God.
you.
Yes, so if you remember COVID times, Basic Education Employment Initiative basically came up as a way of getting more money, into local economies, right? But also support for schools, as we know that our schools are undercapacitated. I mean, the figures are now looking at the average of teacher to learner ratio being 40:1, and it's expanding, it's increasing in some schools like 60 to 1 teacher, etc.
Wow.
So the Basic Education Employment Initiative is a thing that's supposed to, one, assist with the capacity issue in our schools, but two, get young people employed in our schools as teachers' assistants and ground assistants.
So is that being
Ground
cancelled? Is
Yes.
that not? Why is that not happening? That sounds like a great
So-
idea because they get paid a little bit, right? They
But-
get money out of that and they help the kids.
Just to add that the Basic Education Employment Initiative is part of a bigger stimulus called the Presidential Employment Stimulus that was rolled out, as Siba was saying, as a response to COVID. But it's built on a tradition and a wealth of knowledge around public employment programs. Because public employment programs are designed to move people. Now I'm just thinking about absorption.
Oh my God! I can't get it out my head. Absorb me more.
Move people. So not everybody starts at the same point in line. When not everybody finishes school at the same time. Not everybody has got the same
Let me
qualifications
help you with your
to.
hand there.
Thank you, Siba. I appreciate the attention. Can you turn it the other way around? Because now I look
Let
like
me-
I'm begging you.
Let me...
Of course,
Please.
thanks, man. All right, please, I'm absorbing this information hard.
So the public employment programs create employment opportunities, which are usually short-term. That first of all look at employment that is not really valued by the market. So again, supporting education activities in school, doing environmental rehabilitation, it's not something that the private sector will come and say, hey, let's fund these jobs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is work that's really important if you look at the socioeconomic challenges that we face in South Africa. But it's also supposed to provide young people with work experience, because we know that work experience locks young people out of the economy. We know that 6 in 10 young people who are unemployed have never worked before. So we kind of see as a step in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
So moving people closer and closer to the economy.
Yes.
But what happens, what Siba was saying, is that the program ran from 2020 until 2024.
Yes. So the program ran from 2020 to 2023, where we had close to over 1 million young people had gone through the program, had got stipends, had gotten work experience, but also our schools. The capacity issue was a little more eased. Not to say it was fixed. It was a little more
but
eased.
help was on the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they could have help for a couple of months in the year. And then we found out in 2023 that they were not planning to renew it for 2024.
Why not? Did someone steal the money? I mean, they have a 10 million rand stadium that has nothing in it. Surely they have money to employ young people in something we actually need help in our education system.
You see, that's the thing. There was no explanation as to.
So we don't know whose fault it is.
Yes.
Well,
I'm looking in the camera now at you, Ramaphosa cupcake, you bastard, Naya scumbag. Employ young people. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Sick. No.
So
Sorry,
I think,
that was ridiculous.
So
I'm
it's
insulted.
not just employing young people, because these opportunities are short term, but it's just that if we unpack unemployment, right, we know that 3 in 10 young people live in households where nobody is employed, and most people found opportunities through people they know, like somebody might tell you about a company or about a job. We talk about mentorship and support.
Yeah.
So public employment programs, it's kind of providing this environment where young people can just gain experience. They know what it's like to behave in an office, to report to, your manager, but also gets to know all the people that can mentor them and help them with their next steps.
Yeah. Social capital.
Yes.
Social capital. And people don't
social
understand the power of knowing somebody who knows someone. Just someone who can
Yes.
advise you when you need the advice.
Totally.
We don't understand. I think that's part of apartheid's legacy, to be honest, and now a middle class kind of thing. That's amazing. I never even occurred to me.
Yeah. And there's actually a really cool research that was done by Raj Chetty at Harvard that looked at 28 million friendships on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the outcome of...
That's how many friends I have.
But they could actually relate how school is a great place to make friends across the socioeconomic divide, and through friends you can escape poverty pretty much, and not just because of hard opportunities, but often social capital is invisible.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, you don't know, and if you have it, you don't actually give it that much.
You just have it.
Yes,
it's like
you just
air,
have it.
just
yes.
there, just some. No, that's just Bob. I know Bob. Of course, we mocked him for his haircut, and then suddenly Bob works at Investec, and suddenly, bam, you're absorbing some Investec.
Yeah. So it's often like a case of somebody who knows somebody who knows something that unlocks something for you, right?
I know. I mean,
So-
Tequila and Balula has a job that should blow all of our minds.
I'm sure they've got very good social connections.
I think so.
They should share them
I
with young
think
people.
so. That's the only reason he has a job. Let's agree. Okay, listen, I read that unemployment is a structural issue, which sounds like fire pools and bridges are involved. What the hell is a structural issue?
So we believe that so structure, first of all, we're talking about institutions like government, for example, that is a structure, right? And we believe that when it comes to unemployment, that the structure is not really capable of handling the situation, right? The government is supposed to be dealing with youth unemployment.
Yes.
The economy is supposed to be dealing with youth unemployment, but what we're currently seeing at the moment is a government and a economy that is not really handling youth unemployment pretty well.
No.
So that is what I would say. When you describe it as a structural issue, you're looking at these factors that create our kind of society today.
And these factors have got to do with what holds young people back from completing. So unemployment actually starts with basic education in a way, right?
Of course.
So the way that...
We had that minister here. Dodged and died. No, like she's better than a lot of the ministers I've met, but this is definitely something we need to be talking about.
Yes, and like if you look at basic education stats, 1 in 2 young people start grade 1, complete grade 12.
Yes.
So 50%, right?
It's insane.
And this
Imagine
means
50% of the people who arrive at work don't leave work. That would be nuts. Imagine you at a party and 50% of the people left before the end. I mean, no, it's ridiculous.
yeah. And that means that, if you don't have a matric, you already have, again, a matric is not a silver bullet, because that's also the other
It is
thing.
if you're John Steenhuisen. Thank you. You're never getting money from the D after that one. And I love you guys. You're amazing. You have a game here. What is this game?
So yes, the game that we have here is called Tetange Unemployment. And it's a conversation card game that we've created. So if you want to have a dialogue, wink, wink, national dialogue.
But I can't wink. You understand? My eyes, this is my constant. I
If you want
constantly
to have
like
a national chat.
Yeah.
John Steenhuisen, he also can't wink because his Helen Ziller's chest are missing. So he's always awake. So where can we get this game?
So you can get on our website, youthcapital.co.za. You can find a free digital download to get there.
Do we get it for cheaper if we put in the code name Moisture?
I mean,
Absorb.
No, it's free. On our website, you can get the
great.
digital download of the card game. If you want to purchase it, you can get it from our various partners. We have it up on the Daily Mail.
How many
shop.
partners do you guys have?
We are polyamorous, so we have multiple
polyamorous.
partners.
Wow.
I'm joking.
This took a whole new turn.
I'm joking.
Well, yeah, national campaign, so we got to be.
Yes, you got to be everywhere.
You got to do it with anyone you can. I love you guys. That is fantastic. You guys are geniuses. You're doing such great work. How do we follow you?
So you can follow us on youthcapital. You can follow us at youthcapital SA on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We're on TikTok. We are on every single social media channel you can find. And you can find our details, link in bio. If you want to ever reach out to our emails, they are there at info@youthcapital.co.za.
/OnlyFans. I'm joking. No, this is amazing. You're doing great work. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Siba. You guys are fantastic. Now, you need to go now. I'm sorry. We've run out of time.
But we wanted to play the game with
We're going to play the game. Yeah, okay, let's play the game.
Can we ask you a question?
Yes, ask a question.
Okay,
Yes.
you pick one.
Pick one up.
Okay, this is a very cool card.
Okay.
So it says it's a your card first of all. So you're hard.
It's your heart. Yo!
Exactly. That's the way it's supposed
That's
to
great.
react. How often are you worried you'll miss out on an opportunity based on the way you look, your accent, or where you grew up?
What a genius question.
Yes.
That is the most, because I was going to crack a joke at you now, but that's bloody genius. That's like something straight out of our show on fighting racism, because his hand in my ass has never struggled. He's never had his accent stop him getting a job. As a result, his entire life is a product of apartheid. So absolutely spectacular question. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And now let me give you another one.
Because I always say, you've never met a CEO who sounds like a Gachi. If you don't live in Cape Town, a Gachi is the guy who gets people on the taxis, and they often have a particular sort of set of accents. I don't want to say what accent, but they often have one. And you never met a CEO, even though the SA should have a Gachi in charge, because they'll get more people on that airplane than anyone else in history.
Yeah.
But it makes no sense. So our accent definitely stops our access to power, knowledge, and being accepted as someone that the middle class will see as intelligent. That's a genius question. Wow, I'm going to go buy this game immediately.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we'll gift you one.
Thank you. Let's do one more.
One more. Okay.
Or the one.
Which one?
Do you want to do this one?
Okay.
So
it says, in your mind, what do you need to feel like you've made it?
Well, there's a hand in my bum and I live in a suitcase. So if either of those things could change, I'd be very happy.
So if the absorption stops.
Those are if the absorption stops, there we go. Siba nailed it with the funniest end of the show. You guys were fantastic. Go follow them. Go get that game. Now, go. Futsak, go. Thank you for coming. Go.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Can I shake your hand?
You can. You have to reach for it, though.
Oh.
Oh, wow. That was... Hi. Okay, hi. Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Siba. Thanks very much for coming to the Puppet Podcast.
Thank you for the invite.
Okay,
Thank
now go
you.
stand over there while I can wrap it up.
Okay.
Go. Go. Just Go. And then stand still so I can do this last bit. Guys, please follow, subscribe. It really helps us. As you can see, we have no corporate sponsorship. We don't have Nando's. We don't even have Wimpy. So if you want to support us, what you need to do is like that like button, share this, make a comment, and support Youth Capital. I've been Chester Missing This Real Problem. Bye!